Okay, this is take 5. Count them. 5. Alright, phone is in the other room, so I can't be disrupted. I have a list now of things that I want to talk about. Where I'm going with this going forward. It's all about 2017. I was at my son's football banquet last night. And last year, I said, I'm not going to be the fat mom at the banquet next year. So I had joined Planet Fitness in December of 2015. And it went really well for the first 4 months or so. 4 or 5 months. Till that school got out. So that would have been, May? End of May. And I said, I am going to go to the gym. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, 3 days a week, when school got out. And because I have a 17-year-old and a 6-year-old. So I plan on doing that. And it just didn't work out. My son isn't driving. He wasn't driving then. He takes his driver's test today. Hopefully we have a new driver in the house. But, I was running him back and forth to football, and everybody else's schedule seemed to dictate my day and dictate my life, and I have to stop that cycle. I really do. I have to stop being the one to do everything for everybody. My son's old enough to start doing some of his things on his own, and I have to set expectations this year for people in my house, for me, for everybody. There's, nobody, I should say nobody, but there's no rhyme or reason as to how things get done. Everybody just expects mom to walk in the door after work and be like, what's for dinner? And I'm supposed to just pull it out of my butt, I guess. And, I got to stop that cycle. I've got to put things into place. And that's one of my things I plan on doing this year. And in the same vein of things, I want to talk about resolutions and what they mean. Everybody every year sets resolutions, or a lot of people do. And a lot of times it's, I resolve to be a better person. I resolve to read more. I resolve to eat better. I resolve to exercise X amount of days a week. And the problem I have with resolutions is that I don't think they are, I don't know what word I want to use here. I don't think that they are concrete enough, and it gives people an out. I think it's easy to say you're going to resolve to do, and if you don't do it, then who cares? Big deal. Oh, I didn't do it this year, I'll just do it next year. So instead of doing resolutions, I am setting myself up with goals for the year. I think goals sound more like you actually mean business about what you're going to do. I think goals allow you to set a plan of action. And I think goals, it's kind of like getting that gold star. Like once you achieve it, you feel great because it's a goal. It's something you want to work for. It's something you want to put the effort into doing. And I think this year, that's going to be no resolutions. We're going with goals. And we're going to do what we can to achieve our goals. And my goals might change during the year. Maybe something happens that I can't achieve a certain goal by a certain time. And I may have to move it, or I may have to tweak what my goal is. But yeah, so that's one of my things I want to do this year is make up goals. And one of the things I'm going to do to try to keep myself organized is this bullet journal. I don't know if you guys heard about it. Apparently it's all over the place. I am so behind on everything apparently. I keep my head in the sand. It keeps you keeps you out of trouble if you do that sometimes too. But yeah, this bullet journal thing, I'll show you that when I just started doing my January layout, so once I have that finalized, I can show you where I'm starting with that. It's very confusing as far as it is for me, and I'm sure it is because I'm just getting started with it, and the more I get into it, I'm like, oh, I'll be like, yeah, I add this in, add that in, this doesn't work for me. So, and they always say, just start with 1 month at a time, so that's what I'm going to do. Workouts, we're going to be doing some workouts. We're going to talk about healthy eating. I'm going back to meal planning. I did that in the beginning of last year. It worked out great. The scale was my friend, the food scale, not the real scale. And I started to take a course on sports nutrition mostly because of my son who's in football, high school football, to get his diet better. And I've kind of been slacking on that, and I have been slacking on my certification, and I've extended it once. I got to extend it again, and it's going to cost me money this time to extend it again for 2 months, and I am going to get this done. See? Goal set. I have to do it by my birthday, which is March the 5th. I think the day that it's going to expire would be March 4th, but yeah, before that, I'm going to have it done. And I'll have that certification. Talk about losing weight versus losing body fat. That's going to have to be a whole video on itself, because that whole thing about people losing weight and the Biggest Loser and all that stuff, there's so much that goes into it, and there's so much that I've learned with my sports nutrition class that I want to share that in something different, a different video. And starting in January, I follow somebody, his name is Steve Cook. He's doing this thing, and he's done it before, apparently, and I'm going back and watching his videos on this, in his series, 22 Things Happy People Do Differently. And I am going to go and do this, and it's going to be a separate vlog for just that. And I'm going to start that January, I don't know when in January, some point in January. I don't know if it's going to be the 1st. It may be sometime that week, but it doesn't matter as long as I start it. But I want to do it for January. So, there's 31 days in January, so I got a little wiggle room. And, yeah, so that's some of the things that I plan on doing this year. And they always say you should do something that you're uncomfortable with. And as you can see, you're looking at my Christmas tree. And, yeah, I didn't decorate it. The kids did. And let me tell you, you don't know how OCD you are until kids start decorating a tree, because everything is like right here, and then there's a spot over here, and there's a spot, and there's nothing spread out. And it's enough to drive you insane, because then you have to go back and rearrange the tree. It's crazy. So, okay, so here's one of the things I'm going to do. I never, ever, if you've ever watched my videos and you're a subscriber and you've been there for a while, this is all you've ever seen. My hands, right? Okay, so I'm going to see how I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see who I am. And I'll tell you, this is a big step. So, okay, ready? Let me put my hand over this so you don't get sick. All right, I got to flip this around. Okay, so here we are. And see my rack? Like my rack? This is the one I got. Okay, so here we go. This year, it's going to all be about me. I know it's selfish, isn't it? But, yeah, I don't know if I like being on this side. I wonder how that looks in high def. Good thing my hair's still good from last night. Because usually it's like, yeah, so there we go. We are going to, and I may, maybe one day, you'll see me actually doing exercise videos. Maybe. So yeah, hi Amanda. This is my friend Amanda. I met her at Planet Fitness. We are hiring a trainer this year, so we are going to be getting ourselves all buff by the end of the year, I hope. Hopefully before the end of the year. But yeah, that's our goals. All right, guys. So yeah, I know it was a lot of rambling, but we're going to talk about a lot of stuff this year, and I want to get this stuff out there because, you know, I'm really kind of passionate about this whole eating thing and eating right, and you know, the information just needs to be out there because nobody ever teaches it to us. So there we are going forward, and I will see you on the next video.